Megan stared at the photograph in her hand, the image of her fiancé, Lucas, smiling brightly from a recent vacation. Her heart ached as she turned the picture over, the joyful expression frozen in time contrasting sharply with the turmoil she felt inside. The photograph was a painful reminder of the life she was about to upend with a series of decisions that had spiraled out of control. The evening had started innocently enough. Lucas had organized a small get-together with his friends, a tradition that Megan had always enjoyed. It was supposed to be a celebration of their upcoming wedding, a chance to bond with the people who had become a significant part of their lives. But as the night unfolded, Megan found herself drifting further from her fiancé and closer to an uncomfortable truth about her own actions. As the party went on, Megan had found herself drawn into conversations with two of Lucas's closest friends, Adam and Jake. Both men were charismatic and easy to talk to, and Megan had always appreciated their company. But tonight, the atmosphere was charged with an undeniable tension, and Megan felt a spark she hadn't expected. Adam, with his easy smile and playful banter, had always been someone Megan felt a casual attraction towards. Jake, on the other hand, was quieter, but his intensity and thoughtful demeanor had drawn her in. The line between friendly flirtation and something more intimate had blurred, and before Megan knew it, she was caught in a web of her own making. The night had spiraled into a series of ill-advised decisions. Adam and Jake had stayed behind after most of the other guests had left, and the three of them had ended up in Megan's bedroom. What started as a conversation over drinks quickly escalated into something more physical and passionate. Megan had found herself torn between guilt and desire, the lines between right and wrong becoming increasingly hazy. The next morning, Megan woke up with a pounding headache and a heavy heart. The events of the previous night replayed in her mind like a disturbing film she couldn't turn off. As she gathered her clothes and tried to piece together the fragments of the night before, she was overwhelmed with shame. She knew she had crossed a line that couldn't easily be undone. Lucas arrived home earlier than expected, his face bright with excitement as he carried a bouquet of flowers. He had planned to surprise Megan with a thoughtful gesture, a pre-wedding gift that he hoped would show his love and commitment. But as he walked into their shared apartment, the sight that greeted him was anything but what he had anticipated. He found Megan sitting on the edge of their bed, her face buried in her hands. Adam and Jake, both looking equally disheveled and uncomfortable, were trying to collect their things and leave. The tension in the room was palpable, and Lucas could feel the weight of the betrayal pressing down on him. "What's going on here?" Lucas's voice was steady but filled with confusion and hurt. Megan looked up, her eyes red and swollen from crying. "Lucas, I need to tell you something. Something terrible happened last night." Adam and Jake exchanged glances, clearly uneasy with the confrontation. "We should go," Adam said quietly, placing a hand on Jake's shoulder. "Let's give them some space." As they left, Lucas's gaze remained fixed on Megan, his eyes filled with a mixture of anger and heartbreak. "Megan, what is this? What happened?" Megan struggled to find the words. "I made a terrible mistake," she said, her voice breaking. "I was unfaithful to you, with Adam and Jake." The confession hung in the air like a heavy fog, and Lucas's face went pale as the full weight of her words sank in. "How could you do this?" he asked, his voice trembling. "How could you betray me like this? With my friends?" Tears streamed down Megan's face as she tried to explain. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this. I got caught up in the moment, and before I knew it, I was in over my head. I'm so sorry, Lucas. I never meant to hurt you." Lucas took a deep breath, trying to process the enormity of the betrayal. The pain was evident in his eyes as he struggled to make sense of what had happened. "I trusted you, Megan. I trusted you with everything. And now I don't even know who you are anymore." The days that followed were filled with emotional turmoil and difficult decisions. Lucas had moved out temporarily, needing space to process the betrayal and to decide what he wanted for his future. Megan was left alone in their apartment, surrounded by the remnants of a life that now felt irreparably damaged. Megan sought therapy to help her come to terms with her actions and understand the underlying issues that had led her to betray Lucas. She realized that her behavior was a symptom of deeper problems, including her fear of commitment and her struggle with self-worth. Through therapy, she began to confront her insecurities and work on rebuilding her sense of self. Lucas, on the other hand, sought support from friends and family, trying to navigate the complex emotions of anger, betrayal, and hurt. He struggled with the decision of whether to try to salvage his relationship with Megan or to move on and start anew. The pain of seeing his friends involved in the betrayal added another layer of difficulty to the healing process. The months that followed were marked by a painful but necessary journey of healing and self-discovery for both Megan and Lucas. They both attended counseling sessions individually and, when ready, sought joint therapy to address the issues in their relationship. Megan's commitment to understanding her own actions and seeking forgiveness was a crucial part of the process. Lucas and Megan's relationship faced an uphill battle as they tried to rebuild trust and address the deep-seated issues that had led to the betrayal. It was a journey filled with ups and downs, moments of hope and setbacks. They both had to confront the reality that their relationship had been irrevocably changed by the events that had transpired. In the end, Lucas and Megan made the difficult decision to part ways, recognizing that their relationship could not fully recover from the betrayal. The trust that had been shattered could not be repaired, and they both needed to move forward separately to find healing and closure. Megan's journey towards self-forgiveness and understanding continued as she worked on rebuilding her life and making amends. She learned valuable lessons about herself and her relationships, using her experiences to grow and make more mindful choices in the future. Lucas, too, embarked on his own path of healing, finding solace in his friends and family, and gradually opening himself up to the possibility of new beginnings. The pain of the past remained, but he began to find hope in the future and in the prospect of rebuilding his life with a renewed sense of purpose.